Sylvester, there are those who say the NPP is happy. Because at least for this part of the week and perhaps a few days to come, we'll not be discussing the issues that affect the NPP.
Not really. You know what makes some of us sad? That they are seeking to come back and govern this country, and they can't manage 137 people. 137 people, they can't manage them. And this is the chaos we are all visited with.
Look, you remember what was happening at your headquarters when you won
election? It's not 137.
You at your
That
headquarters?
was not 137.
Okay.
That was millions of people. But 137 you can't manage.
All right.
So that's a problem. You can't manage 137 people and you want to manage 30 million Ghanaians. So that's a kind of NDC for you. But of course, some of us know this will happen because it goes to confirm the deep cracks within the NDC and the long-held rivalry between Haruna Idrisu and John Mahama. You remember?
Deep cracks, and they beat you to get a speaker?
Oh, I'm telling you, between John Mahama and Haruna Idrisu. When Haruna Idrisu said he won speaker, Mahama was not in the equation. But now Mahama is coming into the equation because he played a key role in the NDC national elections. And Haruna Idrisu issued a disclaimer after Ahmed Ibrahim said that the minority leader had sent him to send a message to delegate that the parliament is with Asedun Ketia. And he issued a disclaimer that no, I didn't say so. I said, okay, wait, I'm coming. So when he won, obviously, I expected this to happen.
So that's Asedun Ketia, that's not John Mahama. Why?
But I'm saying that Asedun Ketia said they had consulted John Mahama. And the worst of all this is that the reason for this is to say that the 2024 elections will be fought on the line of economics. For that reason, they need to force in. I can't take anything away from him. He's a fine gentleman. He's one guy, whoever he sees in parliament, he has a good relationship with all of us. I can't take anything from him. But if the explanation is that they need an economist or a finance person to lead them in parliament, 137, what about the one you are seeking to lead 30 million people who is not an economist? You see the confusion the NDC itself is with. You are telling us that 137 people should be led by an economist. But the one you are seeking, a preemptive leader you are seeking for the NDC to lead this country is not an economist.
Essentially, look, when you read their opposition, those who are opposed, they are not opposed to the change.
I'm coming there.
They appear to be opposed to the process.
That's fine, but I'm saying that.
Is it obviously fair? Is it fair that they say that they ought to have been consulted? People have, and I called some of the MPs too.
Kofi,
they were completely unaware.
My friend Kofi was a national officer, and I'm sure some of these decisions were taken when he was a national deputy general secretary of the party. Of course, as a deputy general secretary, he was an insider. I don't know the processes they used to do that. But it was obvious that right after your elections, those who supported and publicly declared support for the national chairman have been maintained. And those who opposed have been kicked out. There's been long-running battle between the speaker and the outgoing chief whip, Muntaka. In parliament, we all know. So it was obvious that the system was not comfortable with him. They will get rid of him. And of course, when Dr. Dufour was asked, if you are elected a flag bearer, who in the NDC would you consider to be your running mate? And he quickly said, Bagbin is there, Haruna is there. So I can pick any of them. Once Haruna's name is mentioned, he becomes a threat to John Mahama. Get rid of him so that he doesn't become the running mate. If he has an ambition to become the running mate, then obviously he will go against me. These are things that are being discussed among the NDC. Okay. And we hear this every day. But nonetheless, the party under 7 and the processes of selecting leaders to represent us in parliament. Some people had questioned that parliament should have or clothed with the capacity enough to be able to select its own leaders. But the party is in there, that the national party can write to parliament and select its leadership for them.
These are your standing orders.
Yes, I'm making reference.
I'm coming. Standing orders of the Parliament of Ghana.
That's right.
Revised 1st November 2000. I'll come to the 2013 one.
That's right.
Now, 2000, it says, who is a minority leader or majority leader? It says minority leader means a member of parliament designated by the party, and party starts with capital P,
Yeah.
having the largest numerical strength in parliament other than the party that has formed the government, as the recognized leader of all the minority groups in the House. So in this, your standing orders, the decision was a party decision.
Right.
But you have revised it. That revision has not yet been adopted.
Exactly.
But in law, what is progressive is what we normally like to do with.
Exactly.
And in that one, you have said that the minority leader is the one designated by the party and or the caucus.
Exactly.
So is it not fair that their demand that there ought to have been consultation
I'm not taking away anything.
should have taken
You
place?
see, where we are, okay, who Haruna Idrisu is, and Parliament, having been a minority, having seen a minority leader being reshuffled the way it's been done. So it is fair to consult. Like Muntaka just said, that they've not been consulted. The party is saying they've consulted them. They've even had meetings with them. But the people involved are saying that they have not. So who is telling us the truth? And he says that he wished that somebody owns up to say that I've been sent to you to come and talk to you about these matters. So for me, this is an NDC.
There are many other members who have confirmed that they were not consulted.
They were not consulted. So clearly, I think this was a coup, just as you described it. It's an internal coup of the NDC. And it goes, I mean, people have made public pronouncement even before. Like my good friend, Okujetua Blackwell, has said, anybody who attempt to contest John Mahama is a waste of time and all that, which is preemptive, which is not correct, it's not democratic. So it goes to suggest that they are trying to protect John Mahama for the elections. So any supposed dissent view, they have to clamp down on that view. And exactly what they've done. So for me,
Haruna is not against Mahama.
but when he's been tipped to be a running mate, he needs to support the one who becomes a flag bearer to make him a running mate. You get that? When Haruna, he took a demonstration from his constituency, as is happening today, to be brought into John Mahama's government. When former President Mahama took office, he took a demonstration from his constituency. That why was he left out of government? He was a communications minister. When he came, he took him off communication. But that's the prerogative of the president.
Right.
But he took demonstrations from Tamale South to get him into government.
All right.
So these are antecedents that we can add to the discussion.
Right. Dr.